Our project is on Reaganomics, created by Emma Smart and Gabriel Gansella. Reaganomics was founded in the 1980s by Ronald Reagan during his presidency. The 4 pillars were made to decrease taxes. The first one being reduce federal income and capital gains taxes. This was done by holding on to taxable assets for long periods of time, as well as utilize tax loss harvesting. Reaganomics' second pillar was used to reduce federal spending, which was cuts in government programs or changes to tax policies. Because more income is collected in taxes, less is available for spending. This leads to reducing inflationary pressures, causing faster growth for society. As we see on the graph, cutting the government spending reduces inflationary pressures for faster growth. The third pillar created by Reagan was reducing government regulations. Government regulations was used to implement and enforce laws, so Reaganomics was used to reduce this. President Reagan did this because he believed that excessive regulations was crushing economic growth and limiting individual freedom. The fourth pillar of Reaganomics was used to tighten money supply. By doing this, President Reagan could hopefully reduce government inflation. By doing this, more money is used in taxes, which could have been harmful to the economy, but did help inflation because the government was spending less money and paying down the debt caused by inflation. As you can see, the 4 pillars of Reaganomics.
Reaganomics also affected poverty a lot. The rate of poverty at the end of Reagan's term was the same as in 1980. Cutbacks in income transfers during Reagan's years helped decrease inequality and reduced poverty. This plays along with the fourth pillar of Reaganomics. The percent of poverty rates was 15.2% in 1980 and then decreased by 2.1% 5 years later in 1988. Because homeless rates were noted by critics, President Reagan saw that he had to do something about it. The chart you see on the side is the poverty rate throughout the years. The blue one is the U.S. You can tell that in the 1980s, the poverty rate went down a lot in the U.S., but in Illinois, the poverty rate was up and then it decreased a lot. The red line is an average of Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, and Minnesota and Wisconsin. You can tell it went down a lot around the 1980s and 1990s, and then went back up again after. Reaganomics changed a lot during this time. Reaganomics changed various parts of the economic industry. It cut federal income taxes and the U.S. government spending budget. This scaled down to the government workforce, allowing the government to maintain low interest rates and keep a watchful inflation hedge on the monetary supply, which was the money stock or volume of the money held by the public during the 1890s. This photo shows what Reaganomics did from 1981 to 1989. Reagan made cuts in 4 areas, which were the growth of spending of the government, both income taxes and capital gains taxes, regulations on businesses, and the expansion of the money supply. You may be wondering what supply-side economics really is and what it does for the economy. Well, supply-side economics is an economic theory that focuses on stimulating economic growth by encouraging businesses and entrepreneurs. It suggested that by reducing taxes, especially for the wealthy and businesses, it gives the benefit of the doubt to invest and produce more goods or services. The idea of supply-side economics is that when businesses thrive, it benefits the overall economy, leading to increased productivity, higher wages for society, and increase in economic growth overall. Supply-side economics was first used in 1976 by Herbert Stein, but Reagan used it during his presidency from 1880 through 1889 and almost to the 1890s.